Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Being the Marshmallow, Living and Coping with PTSD. I am, as always, Bob Wagner, and with me today, again, is my buddy Pete.
Hey, how you doing?
Today's topic is the result of a suggestion that I got from a friend of mine on Facebook by the name of Corey Berry. Corey wanted to know a little bit about safe spaces.
We were going to call this Safe Spaces for Dummies, but we were worried you'd think it was about Congress.
Clever as always, Pete. You're a wit. Jokes aside, this is actually a very important, very relevant topic if we're going to have a conversation about mental health and coping with mental illnesses. Now, as with the concept of triggers, safe spaces are a phrase or a thing that are in greater public awareness through social media and through the news cycle, largely due to the efforts of, once again, the professionally butthurt, okay, or the perpetually umbraged. And you know who I'm talking about. They're the people who are like, well, no, you can't talk about this topic because it's a safe space. And they've co-opted it to mean a free speech exclusion zone. And most people, when they hear, well, safe space, they automatically think, okay, great, we're talking about a place where grown men can wear flannel onesies and cuddle with pink fuzzy bunny rabbits. No. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you're into, hey, God bless, I'm not going to judge you. We've all got our thing. But that is not what it means within the context of a mental health conversation. Within that context, what a safe space is it is a low stimulus environment, preferably somewhere with no people around, preferably with a door that you can close between yourself and the rest of the world, where you can take a few minutes to deal with an actively symptomatic episode, whether your particular mental illness is PTSD like I have, or bipolarity or manic depression or whatever. It is a place where you can go that the world is not intruding on your efforts to engage in self-care, okay? Now, one of the best examples I can think of a good safe space is actually the handicap stall of your typical public bathroom, all right? Everybody has to go out into the world. We all have to go shopping, dinner, the movies, whatever. And in my personal experience, excuse me, a little cough there. In my personal experience, the handicap stall of a public bathroom is a really great place to go, okay? Now, the reason for this is because it is brightly lit. It is fairly private. You've got a door that you can close. Nobody's really going to bother you because, hey, if you're on the toilet, nobody's going to be knocking, hi, you want to buy some cookies? It's not going to happen, okay? And it is a place where you can spend a couple of minutes uninterrupted, composing yourself and addressing the symptoms of your mental illness. When you are in a private space, like say you go to your mom's house for dinner or somewhere, I don't recommend using the bathroom as a safe space. The reason for that is there is way too many opportunities to engage in self-harm in your typical private bathroom. Now, in a public bathroom, like say you go to the mall, bathroom there is sinks, urinals, toilet stalls, okay? Really nothing you can harm yourself with. In a private bathroom, there's pills, there's blades, there's all kinds of things that you can use to injure yourself, and it can lead to a bit of temptation, okay? If you're in a sufficiently bad place and you're at that tipping point, the proximity of the items that would enable you to engage in self-harm may be all it takes for you to do so. And obviously we don't want that. We don't want to go hurting ourselves. We don't want to go, even engaging in something as relatively innocuous as cutting, okay? That's not healthy and that's not beneficial to us. That's letting the disease win. So in that instance, what I recommend is bedrooms. Most people, whether or not they know that you have a mental illness, if you communicate to them, I'm really not feeling very good at the moment. Would it be okay for me to go and use your bedroom to, until I feel better? Most people, because we are compassionate individuals, are going to say, yeah, sure, no problem. Go do what you got to do, take care of it. And then you can simply go into the bedroom, close the door, engage your coping mechanisms, and come out when you feel ready. And don't be embarrassed by needing to do this, okay? You have a medical condition. If you had Parkinson's disease and you needed to take a pill to manage your Parkinson's, you wouldn't apologize for asking for a glass of water. If you have diabetes and you need to do your insulin, you're not gonna feel embarrassed or ashamed of the fact that you have to go off and and take an injection or anything like that. Okay, this is a medical condition. Don't be embarrassed about it. Practice your self-care. That's the only way that you don't let the disease win. Okay. So those are a couple of good examples of safe spaces. Generally, like I said, what you want to do is wherever you are, if you feel the need to find a place like this, the criteria should be low stimulus, as few people as possible, and if at all possible, some place where you can put your back to a wall, because human beings typically associate that with a sense of safety, okay? We don't react well to being snuck up on when we're in an elevated state. If you can have your back to a wall, if you can see the approaches, that will contribute to a sense of safety, because you will not be worrying about getting ambushed in your rear arc. Now, if you encounter a person who is mentally ill and they are actively symptomatic, you can very discreetly ask them, hey, do you need to get to a safe space? And that's great. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to crowd around taking pictures with your phones, okay? This is not a spectator sport. Mental illness is a medical condition. It is not free entertainment. If you see somebody, if you see somebody who is actively symptomatic and you want to help, ask, hey, excuse me, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do to help? And if they say no, respect it and bug off, okay? Don't loom over them entertaining yourself at their expense, okay? That's going to make the situation worse. Respect their need for as much privacy as the circumstances allow and go about your business. That pretty much covers the topic for now. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, if you like what you've seen, remember to subscribe, remember to support me on my Patreon page, and go to Amazon and check out my book, What's Your Superpower? Living and Coping with PTSD. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.